The role of a government is supposed to protect its people and secure their rights. The one-child policy does the opposite. The punish Has it ever been your dream to have a big family? I'm sure it has been for the Chinese too, but the only difference is they can't. There has been a law passed in China that limits the number of children a family can have, thus preventing from overpopulation. The effects that this has brought upon China and its people vary from good and bad. There are immediate effect and long-term effects. One of the most important effects is what has happened to the female population. Another grave effect is what's been done to prevent overpopulation. After my research, I will come to a conclusion on whether or not I think China will continue to force the one-child policy or not.
These are pictures filmed by Al Jazeera after sneaking into a Chinese hospital. Xiao Aiying would only let us film from the neck down. She is terrified of retribution. Her crime, violating the country's one-child policy. Her punishment, a forced abortion, when she was 8 months pregnant.
I had felt the baby moving round and round my belly. Can you imagine how I feel now?
Her husband, also scared, would only speak to us briefly outside the hospital and not out in the open.
There were many men surrounding my wife. They held her arms behind her back, pushed her head against the wall, kicked her stomach, and I don't know if they were trying to give her a miscarriage right there and then.
The police locked her up here and gave her unborn baby a lethal injection. What you're looking at now is Xiao Aiying with a dead fetus still inside her.
Ring. 95% of children that get adopted from China are girls. You can only imagine how lonely and how desperate they are, not only from losing loved ones, but almost entirely the major source of economic assistance after retirement.
Li Ting is a mother who knows her rights, and she's making the most of them. Within a few days, the 28-year-old Shanghai resident is due to give birth to her second child.
Both my husband and I are only children, so under Chinese law, we are qualified to have 2 children. I think having a second child will make life and work more stimulating.
Today, she has a visitor from Shanghai's Family Planning Commission. It's Hu Wenjing's job to check on women's health and inform them of their rights and responsibilities. For the past few weeks, she's also had a new mission. The city government has launched a major campaign backed by leaflets and phone calls to encourage people who meet the criteria to have a second child. And in Shanghai, that means most young married couples.
At the moment, we're focusing on promoting this policy because the first generation of only children is now the right age for getting married and having children.
The reason for this campaign lies
The role of a government is supposed to protect its people and secure their rights. The one-child policy does the opposite. The punishment for breaking a law should never be to have people sent to your house to beat you and force you to get an abortion, but that's how the government officials in China have enforced the policy. The Chinese government officials need to find a way to gain more resources so they can handle the population of the country without enforcing a harmful policy that causes so much pain and suffering. Even though the policy won't be able to come to a sudden stop, the policy will have to change over the next decade.